Today we're having our annual jazz brunch to raise money for scholarships around the state.
Caucus is made up of the African American members in the House and the Senate, and our role, of course, is to put forth effort for our community and make sure that our community is well represented at the Capitol.
I'm Patrick Bell, the president of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus Foundation Board of Directors. And I'm happy to welcome you to the 31st Annual Bayou Classic Jazz Brunch. By your support of this event, we are providing scholarships to deserving young people who are seeking a college education.
I greet you on behalf of the 32 members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus. I want to thank them because the last 3 years for us have been a whirlwind. And we've served with a gentleman who's led the Democratic Caucus through some battles, but we've obtained victory. I want to greet our governor-elect, John Bel Edwards. As well as our sponsors and his beautiful wife, who, let me tell you how much of the people's governor and first lady they are, who specifically requested to sit with one of our colleagues who shares, whose son shares a class with their daughter. Governor, I'm trying to get to a first lady, Donna Edwards. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much.
Let me start by thanking God for His grace, for His mercy, and for His goodness. And I do know without a doubt that He is the reason for this season. And if I had the opportunity or took the opportunity to thank Him 1,000 times a day, it would certainly not be sufficient for what God has done for me. Thank you. I bring you greetings on behalf of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus for our 31st anniversary. Annual anniversary. I want you all to know that you have certainly warmed my heart today by your presence here. I know that there are other places you could have been, but you are here with us, the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, celebrating our 31st anniversary. And this anniversary is an anniversary where we give scholarships away to our students. So I want you all to know that I am so excited, I am so elated to be able to stand here before you to say to you, thank you for coming. And please don't forget to come again on next year. Thank you.
Greetings. I too join Madam Chair in extending a warm and hearty welcome to each of you as we celebrate these two historic institutions, Southern University and the Grambling State University. Thank all of you for being here, and we are so elated, euphoric as we welcome, as our chair has indicated, Governor-elect John Bel Edwards. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the morning.
Once again, I'd like to thank you all again for your support of this event, because it's so important to support the Legislative Black Caucus. Not only do the members represent their constituents in their respective district, but they represent all people of Louisiana of color and those that are disadvantaged, and so they have an awesome task before them. Your support of this event helps them to do their jobs more efficiently. It helps them provide opportunities for the next generation of Legislative Black Caucus members. And so I want to thank you on behalf of the Foundation Board of Directors for supporting this event once again. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Governor-elect John Bel Edwards.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, if it was July 11th, I was wondering why I've been working so hard this past week.
Well said.
Look, To everyone in the room, thank you for being here. For those of you affiliated with Southern University and Dr. Belton, my best wishes to you. For those of you affiliated with Grambling State University and Dr. Larkin, thank all of you. You know, your role here as supporters of these fine institutions and mine as the governor-elect, very much similar. We have to fight to make sure that our children have opportunities to succeed in Louisiana, all over the state, no matter what station of life they're born into. It is our job to make sure that there is equality of opportunity. Nowhere is that more important than in education, and certainly nowhere is that more important than in higher education. And I just want you to know, as your governor-elect, higher education will be my highest priority, and the role that our HBCUs play will never be diminished while I am your governor. We are going to strengthen and preserve these fine institutions. So I just want to ask you to do what you can to support these institutions. I know that's why you're here today, but try to do it year-round. And I will do that as our next governor, working with the fine members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, with the legislature as a whole. And there are many other members of the legislature here today, and I want to thank all of you for your great service to our state. You know, all good things come from God, and we're called upon to always give thanks. Now, this is Thanksgiving week. I don't know about you, but our Thanksgiving prayer was a little different this year than it was in previous years. We are very, very thankful for the opportunity that we've been given. I will be the governor of all of the people of Louisiana. I don't think we've had that for a number of years. I will be the governor for everybody. So many people in this room who I don't even know, have not yet met, worked hard to get me elected, and I want you to know I will not let you down. And I know that many of us prayed for victory on Saturday night. Prayer has to continue, because what we're going to find out is, in many respects, getting elected was easier than governing, because we have tremendous problems in the state of Louisiana. But I am so optimistic about our future. We're going to work together, Republicans and Democrats and independents, blacks and whites from all over the state of Louisiana. We're going to tackle our challenges because we owe that to our children and to our children's children. And if you will stand with me, if you will work with me, if you will pray with me, we will do it. God bless you. Thank you so much. There is no bigger reason for my run for governor than higher education. I think that over the last 8 years especially, Louisiana has not done well by our kids. We're not doing what we should to make sure they have opportunity for success here in Louisiana. We're going to start with a focus on education, and we got to make sure that the state general funding component for higher education is increased. Otherwise, we're basically telling kids, you know, just go out and do it on your own. That's not good enough for me. So we're going to create more opportunity with all of higher education, and that certainly includes the HBCUs, Grambling State University and Southern University, which many people don't know it. It's the only HBCU system in the nation, and we need to be proud of that.
It is my honor to welcome you. It is also my pleasure to present this proclamation on behalf of the mayor and the city to the members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus. Since 1977, the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus has worked to help Louisiana families by expanding economic and educational opportunities, whereas its members have been the voices for historically black colleges and universities, including Southern and Grambling. And whereas the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus has also worked to create opportunities for economic development and for fairness and shared prosperity in government. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Mitchell J. Landrieu, Mayor of the City of New Orleans, do hereby recognize the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus for your dedicated service and your commitments to the state, and for hosting the 31st Annual Scholarship Jazz Brunch. Thank you.
This morning I was had the occasion to engage with the Southern University New Orleans campus in their annual brunch. And I was sharing with my wife, we were right behind Governor-elect John Bell Edwards, and I said, you know, I've been admiring this guy for a long time. I said, one of the unique things about him is that he was in the Army, and he was with an elite unit, the U.S. Rangers. And I told her that unit in and of itself was admired throughout the services because they stood for honor and duty, and they were pathfinders. They went before anybody else in shaping the destiny for those who came behind them. Our governor-elect is an individual who has already fought for higher education for Southern and Grambling. And I tell you, it is a pleasure, it will be a pleasure to work for him in his role as governor-elect of the state of Louisiana. Let's give him another round of applause. And as a family, the Board of Supervisors felt it appropriate, Representative Jackson, to offer you this small token of our appreciation in keeping with your leadership for this conference, for this caucus. It speaks to a family Bible that represents African-American heirlooms. So thank you so very much for your leadership. And I just want to take just another moment to really express my appreciation, if you will, to this caucus, to the leadership of the caucus, but to the entirety of this caucus. It goes without saying that without their support, without their determination, the Southern University system and Grambling may well have been compromised over the last years. We have stayed afloat as a result of their advocacy. And so we want to just express our appreciation to all of you and submit to you our willingness, our duty to continue to serve the citizens of this great state and the opportunity that we embrace to continue to work with this caucus. So again, good morning to everyone.
I'm so glad I work at GSU. I'm so glad I work at GSU. I'm so glad I work at GSU. And I hope to be there for 8 years. Good morning, everyone. Representative Jackson, I saw that the president from Southern gave you a gift. At Grambling, we're looking for you to give us some gifts. And so I need you to work with your fellow legislators to make sure that Grambling is taken care of. You may not know it, but Belton and I really like each other. We've had a number of conversations, and here's what we've agreed upon. We've said that the state of Louisiana cannot reach its lofty goals without Grambling and Southern and all other HBCUs. I'll be honest with you, we have an awesome task and a responsibility ahead of us, and the governor-elect has pledged his support, but let's just add another dimension to that ingredient. We have to do our part as well. Yes, sir. And so tremendous leadership on the part of Dr. Belton, his administration, me and my administration is extremely important. But we're going to have to depend on all of you, our alumni. We're going to have to depend on the legislature. And so we're all going to have to do this together. I've been brief. Thank you.
For over 30 years, we have honored and acknowledged and supported deserving young people through this annual event. And so we're very excited to be celebrating our 31st year and are pleased to present the inaugural Bayou Classic Jazz Brunch Scholarship, which was jointly created by the officers of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus Foundation and the Black Caucus's Scholarship Jazz Brunch Committee. So these scholarships will be awarded to 3 deserving Louisiana College students annually at the Bayou Classic Legislative Jazz Brunch, to recipients who exemplify scholastic achievement and academic excellence across the state.
In addition to the scholarship awards, we use this time to recognize those are legends in their own right and who deserve recognition from this collective body of unified support for common good. This afternoon, we are pleased to recognize such a woman who worked tirelessly for many years to improve the lives of others, a woman whose eyes saw so much, the First Lady of football.
Mrs. Doris Robinson was a driving force and a symbol of commitment for the Grambling community and represented the university statewide. Doris Robinson, the wife of legendary Grambling State football coach Eddie Robinson, passed away at the age of 96. Doris Mott Robinson, a former school teacher who was referred to as the eternal First Lady of Grambling State University football, was Eddie's college sweetheart. She stood by his side throughout a career at Grambling that spanned 55 seasons from 1941 through 42, 45 through 97. Her late husband, Coach Eddie Robinson, was the second winningest coach in NCAA Division I history with 408 victories. He retired in 1997 and died at the age of 88 in 2007. The Eddie G. Robinson Museum honored Mrs. Doris Robinson's passing and acknowledged her work over the years. According to her friends, she actually gave her husband what he needed to get back out there and fight every day for Grambling State University. So she's just as important as Coach Robinson was at Grambling State. So today we posthumously honor Mrs. Doris Robinson, this year's Grambling State University Bayou Classic legend. Receiving the award is her grandson.
Good afternoon. To God the glory, to Chairwoman Jackson, all officers and members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus. On behalf of the family of Ms. Doris Inez Mott Robinson, I am pleased and honored to accept this award, honoring my late grandmother. She had a sincere commitment to enhancing mankind through hard work, family, education, and service. I want to thank the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus for what you do in our community, both in and out of session. A special thank you to our area legislators, Representative Patrick Jefferson and Senator Rick Gallo. We will always treasure this gesture. Thank you.
Southern University has a rich tradition of leadership, intelligence, and producing some of the best and brightest leaders of corporate America and beyond. A key individual who carried the torch for Southern University for a number of years was Dr. Dolores Richard Spikes.
Dr. Spikes was an esteemed college professor and mathematician from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She received her elementary and high school education by attending Baton Rouge's parochial and public school systems. Throughout her youth, Spike's parents strongly advocated the value of a college education, and upon her enrollment at Southern University in 1954, her father volunteered for overtime hours at his job to help pay for her expenses. She went on to earn her BS degree in mathematics in 1957 from Southern University, where she was initiated as a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and met her future husband, Herman Spikes.
After graduating, Dr. Spikes moved to Urbana, Illinois and pursued her MS degree in mathematics at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. While pursuing her master's degree, Dr. Spikes gained a passion for teaching and decided that she would give back to her community by teaching at an historically black college. In 1958, she returned to Louisiana and accepted a teaching position. Then in 1961, she returned to her alma mater, Southern University, and served as an assistant professor of mathematics.
In 1971, Spikes made history by becoming the first African American to earn a PhD in mathematics from Louisiana State University. She went on to serve as the chancellor for Southern University in Baton Rouge and Southern University in New Orleans in the late 1980s. Spikes was the first female chancellor and later president of a public university in the state of Louisiana. She was then appointed as a board member of Harvard's University Institute of Educational Management in 1987 And in 1988, she made history once again when she was appointed as president of Southern University and the A&M college system, becoming the first woman in the United States to head a university system. Later, in 1996, Spikes became the president of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, where she served until 2001. Dr. Spikes passed away, but her legacy lives on. Please join me in a round of applause as we proudly posthumously honor the late Dr. Dolores Richard Spikes. And at this time, we'll have her niece accept the award on her behalf.
To the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus and the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus Foundation, on behalf of my family and in memory of my aunt, Dr. Dolores Spikes, I accept and thank you for this Legend Award honoring my aunt and my godmother. Her selfless dedication, service, commitment, and acts of kindness to others assuredly contributes to her being a legend. She truly was one in her own family. We're sincerely grateful for your thoughtfulness and for capturing her spirit as a legend. I sincerely thank you all. It's been a rough 6 months because it's been recent, and we truly, truly, truly appreciate it. We miss her dearly, and she was a truly, truly faithful, die-hard blue and gold. So we ask you to remember her this evening and pray that Southern brings home a W.
Our next honoree is a suitable recipient of the values upheld by the substance of this award. The Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center for over 20 years has been a civil rights organization working tirelessly to eradicate housing discrimination and fighting the impacts of poverty and discriminatory practices. As the only full-service housing center in the state, the impact and accomplishments of the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center are consistent with the namesake of Avery Alexander. The outstanding leadership of the center impacts the people of New Orleans and beyond.
The GNO Fair Housing Action Center provides services to a diverse population throughout the New Orleans area, spanning all the way from St. John Parish to St. Bernard Parish. They have for years filed lawsuits against people and entities caught practicing systemic discrimination. They provide legal service to over 1,000 citizens since Hurricane Katrina, and they are singularly attributed with being the reason why many people who left the city after Katrina were able to find housing when they returned.
Please join us in saluting the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for this honor. My name is KASHAUNA Hill. I'm delighted to be here. I am the Executive Director of the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center. I've been in this position since April, and this has absolutely been a whirlwind year for us at GNOFAC. On behalf of the staff and the board of the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center, I absolutely thank you for this honor. To Chair Jackson and the members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, we are very humbled to receive this award. All of the members of the Legislative Black Caucus have been and continue to be steadfast advocates for your communities, and we are so honored and thankful for this recognition. We absolutely pledge and promise here today to continue to carry on the work in the tradition of Reverend Avery Alexander. We promise that we will continue to follow his example and the examples that all of you have set for us. I'd also like to take a moment to thank some legislators who have been absolutely tremendous champions for communities across Louisiana, particularly those legislators who worked with the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center to, for the very first time, pass some very important housing protections for domestic violence survivors across Louisiana. Partnering with us and showing tremendous leadership in that effort, first and foremost, was State Senate President Pro Tem, Senator Sharon Weston Broome. We thank you so much for your leadership. Your courage just is beyond words, and working with you certainly added you to my personal list of sheroes, and we so appreciate your support and your dedication to this very important issue and to the work that we do. Briefly also, Speaker Pro Tem Representative Walt Leger, State Senator J.P. Morrell, thank you so much for your leadership, for your example, and of course our new governor, John Bel Edwards. Thank you all for this honor, and we very much appreciate it.
It is certainly an honor and a privilege to be a part of the program and to present the Pinkie C. Wilkerson Humanitarian Award. If you had a chance to know Pinkie, you really knew a wonderful person, and this award bears her name, especially to community and commitment to community. And certainly happy to have Representative Barbara Norton standing with me. This year, our Pinkie C. Wilkerson Award goes to an individual that lives to serve and help others. An individual that I'm proud to say is constantly giving to others and shows himself as a selfless man driven by faith. Bishop Larry L. Branton works to support others, growing to be the best. Bishop Branton is constantly and actively engaged in promoting human welfare and social reform. Bishop Branton has been a role model on how all of us should continue to find a way to contribute in a greater way to the community. Bishop Branton continues to remind us to respect and embrace human diversity and improve the lives of those in need through selfless, courageous, and compassionate acts. A popular lecturer and author of several books, Bishop Branton is a well-loved pastor, minister, spiritual father, and community leader. As senior pastor and CEO of several churches, Bishop Branton oversees one of the fastest growing congregations in the Shreveport-Bossier City area. He is a socially active leader, businessman and minister, and serves as the chair CEO of the Northwest Louisiana Church Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Shreveport Airport Authority, and serves as the chair CEO of the board of the Northwest Louisiana Community Development Corporation. He is an experienced member of various boards of directors and has received numerous certifications, awards, and proclamations. Bishop Branton is a member of the American Association of Christian Counselors and has also served as certified pastoral addiction counselor. Certified by the United States Air Force and the Louisiana State Board as a substance abuse counselor, Bishop Branton has served as a member of the board of directors for various programs. In 2010, he earned the distinction to have Hudson Street in Shreveport dedicated in his name. We are pleased to award the Pinkie Wilkerson Humanitarian Award to Bishop Larry L. Branton.
Well, I greet you in divine love, and we do realize that Jesus is the answer for the world today. And I'm so honored to receive this award, and of course, Mrs. State Representative Wilkerson was a humanitarian, and I looked up the word again, and it just reminds me of compassion, being compassionate, and we are indeed better together. I want to thank God for my wife, Wanda Brandon. Would you stand, dear? A very strong woman who shares by my side, and we just do what we do, and I'm grateful for Praise Temple. We've given away this past weekend 7,000 dinners to our citizens to be a blessing to them, and we've given $20,000 to the Southern University system through the foundation. And this year for my birthday, I believe in giving, because I don't believe in walking out on the people, but we're walking to help people. We're giving $10,000 to Grambling State University in honor of Pinkie Wilkerson. God bless you, God keep you. This is my prayer for you until then. Thank you.
I'm very proud to have nominated and see that this person won this award, because the Charles I. Hudson Visionary Award is awarded to those with the ability to envision a brighter, more positive future in their communities. And it's awarded in honor of former Representative Charles Hudson, a former dedicated Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus member. This year's recipient is a testament to the spirit of hard work, and it's an honor to present this award to my friend and mentor, Mr. Joseph DELPIT. Born in Born in the early 1940s, Joe Delpit's elementary school experience was at St. Francis Xavier in Baton Rouge, and he is a graduate of McKinley Senior High School. He attended Southern University in Baton Rouge, where he received credits in business administration and foods and nutrition. He also received certificates for participating in numerous business and community development seminars around the nation. Upholding the legacy of his father, who opened a business in 1935 with only 34 cents capital, Mr. Delpit has owned and operated the Chicken Shack, has expanded and added many new locations for over 50 years, and this business has been a part of the Baton Rouge community now for over 80 years. Mr. Delpit is now president of the Chicken Shack System Incorporated, a fast-growing food chain. He is president of D&W Health Services Incorporated. He is the secretary, treasurer, and CFO of WTB Incorporated, a corporation that is operating a new 80-bed nursing home facility in Shreveport, Louisiana, and Booker T. Washington Nursing Home. In addition to his multiple business dealings, Joe Delpit was the first black councilman to serve in Baton Rouge and is a prior member of the Louisiana legislature, serving as a state representative for many years, and was the highest ranking black elected official at the time in 1984 when he served as Speaker pro tem of the Louisiana House of Representatives. Mr. Delpit inspires others in his community and beyond by bringing job creation, economic development, and a quality product not easily rivaled by his competition. But for this reason and for many others, we are very, very proud to present the Charles Hudson Visionary Award to Mr. Joseph Delpit.
Well, first of all, let me thank my delegation in Baton Rouge and all of the members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus now and those who have recently been elected, to my governor, John Bell Edwards, and to all of you out here. I'm very, very grateful. Representative Hudson was one representative I really did admire, and I'm very honored to receive this in his name. And I want to thank each and every one of you, and Mr. Rutledge, who is the president of the foundation, Southern University Foundation, say, Joe, go sit up there, and we need to save every minute we can, and don't be long. So all I want to say to each of you, I sure wish I could sing. I would sing, a change has finally came. We are so happy to have a new beginning here in Louisiana. I don't know what to say. And to our chair lady, KATRINA, who I've worked with for a long time, and to each and every one of you members, you have a tremendous challenge. But together, with this change, you can make things happen. God bless each and every one of you, and thank you very much. I'm honored.
Thank you. Now to present the Bayou Classic Jazz Brunch Scholarship Awards, Representative KATRINA Jackson, Representative Ed Price, Representative Barbara Norton, and Representative Patrick Jefferson.
Our first recipient from that other university in New Orleans, Alicia Madison from Xavier University. Our next recipient, Mr. Leon Duncan from the University of Louisiana, Lafayette. And finally, Napier Howard from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette as well.
For our final awards for the day, we will have Representative KATRINA Jackson and Representative Ed Price present the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus Eagle Awards. Please give them a warm round of applause.
I tried to save my voice for this because these members served, most of them prior to Ed and I coming on board. And when I was a legislative staffer, some of these members were already serving, and they have been such an awesome force to serve with. They've taught us so much, but most importantly, they taught us the importance of serving with integrity, with giving your whole heart when you make a commitment to the people of this state, and being honest at all times. If I would not have had 7 years as a staffer to serve under some of these members, I could not stand here today. They showed us how to endure beyond your pain, how to stand when you're being fought, and how to be who you said you would be to the people at all times. These Eagle Awards are being given not because members choose not to serve anymore, but for the most part, they're term limited. Some ugly law that someone who will never be governor of this state passed, David Vitter, right? And so with that, it is with my whole heart, every breath, every word that I have left, that I honor these members because they chose to serve by putting their name on the ballot the first time. And they have finished their tenure as state representatives. But I promise you, because of their hearts, they will continue to serve the public. They will continue to serve this state. And we will continue to support them in all of their endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Lady, and I echo those remarks because I too have served with these individuals. And our first award, Eagle Award today, is going to go to State Representative Roy Burrell. The next award goes to one of our longest serving members, served in the House and then the Senate, Senator Sharon Weston Broome.
I cried today for her because I've cried many days in her office. As a staffer and as a state representative, she's been so wonderful as a mentor in this process. So I thank you, Senator Broome.
The next gentleman, also one of our longest serving member and is now moving on to other things, native of New Orleans here and a great, great friend, State Senator Ed Murray.
Knows more about the budget than most members will still be calling him.
And it was a pleasure for me to have served with this young man in the House of Representatives, and he is going out as term limited, State Representative Austin Bardon.
When I was a staffer, he dubbed himself as the most handsome man to ever serve in the House.
The next gentleman here, a truly, truly great friend of all of ours, from Shreveport, Louisiana, State Representative Patrick Williams.
Patrick is the only man I ever knew that walked from Shreveport to Baton Rouge, but he brought attention to autism in this state and our need to be more aggressive in standing with those who advocate for our autistic citizens.
The next award goes to a great friend, someone whom I love and is no longer with us. He was truly a friend of all of us in the House of Representatives, very, very hard worker, someone who we all look to and it tears me up that he's no longer with us, but we all loved him. Representative Alfred C. Williams.
Alfred passed while serving this state. He served this state until he took his last breath. He was honorable, and he was true to the call that God had on his life to be a representative, not of some people, but of all people. He will be missed. We give him this Eagle Award today in his memory, and in our hearts we will always love him. Thank you.
Thank you. The next recipient is a young lady who I got to know very well while serving in the House of Representatives, and always witty, so we all loved her, and we're gonna miss her very much. State Representative Ladrika Theory.
Ladrika is a powerful force to be reckoned with. When she goes to the mic in the House, everyone listens. The running joke in the caucus, Ladrika came to the legislature. I think she had one child at that time, and then she had another, and she became all of our baby mom because we took care of her that session. And I tell people all the time, I said I've not met anyone with too few people with as much heart as she has, but as much love as she has for her family. And her family has become my family. I figured I'd never have kids, so I just took hers on board.
Several members who couldn't be with us here today, I'd just like to announce them. State Senator Rick Gallo, State Senator Albert Guillory, Representative Dalton Honore, Representative Ebony Woodruff, and former State Representative Herbert Dixon. Thank you very much.
Let me just take care of some housekeeping stuff first. First of all, I want to say thank you, and I think we should recognize the hard work of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, because the last 8 years have been hell. And they have stood very strong in protecting the values we care about, protecting Southern and Grambling, making sure that people who work hard every day get a fair shot. And this caucus, unfortunately, does not get the credit that it deserves from the media, and I think that everybody in this room should rise and give a big round of applause to the leadership of the Legislative Black Caucus and to their service. So thank you all for what you do. The second piece of housekeeping I have to do is apologize to you all, not for being late, but for all of those robocalls that you received over the last couple of weeks saying, please go out and vote. The good news is when things are on the line and the future of our children and our seniors being able to live out their life with dignity and respect, we show up and we show out. And people thought we would show up in the realm of 28%, but we were 31%. And that 31% makes a difference. And what it does is ensure that our new governor-elect is elected with a mandate to do the tough things and speak up for the people who normally don't have a voice, but that this caucus always speaks to. So I just want to thank you all. I want to thank the caucus for the hard work that they did in getting a true governor elected, and for the hard work that they do every day. And you will be getting calls from me again, because we accomplished mission 1, but mission 2 is we still have to retain the White House next year. So you have a little break, but we go right back into it. So I want to congratulate the new governor who leads with his heart, and his wife Donna, who they practice what they preach, they mean what they say, and he is a governor who's going to represent the entire state of Louisiana. Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you so very, very much. You must have known I was coming up because I said it says limit to 3 minutes. Katrina, did you do that? No, no. My dear friends, thank you so very much for allowing me to come and be a part of this today. You know, I've been here since last night. We had the gala and today, and we hear the same resounding message. One of hope, one of vision, one of future, one of giving, and one of sharing. And if you look at that theme, I believe of all the things that God has given us, we must give back in public service and in philanthropy. When we open the mind of a young person, that is something that continues to grow and continues to give back. And I'm so very proud to be here today with all of you, all of my friends, the legislators I've served with and that have worked with me as commissioner. My dear friend, Ms. KATRINA, you and I, we have a long past and we're going to have a long future. My dear friend, our newly elected governor, John Bel Edwards, and Ms. Donna, and each and every one of you. You know, when the election was over, John Bel never slowed down. I called him on the phone and we're both racing to another function. And you said, and this was right at the week after the election, you said, Michael, your election was last week. I said, I know, but I'm still trying to catch up. But what you also said, he said, Mike, I need your help. We're going to work together. We're going to find solutions. He said, I'm not going to get everything I want. You're not going to get everything you want. But we're going to work together to move this state forward. We have a unique opportunity, and it is rare, that we get to change and rechart the course of this state. But we will have to do that together. We're going to have to take those political swords and rebuild them and put them back in the plowshares and move forward. And we will do this. I'm excited about the future and the beginning and the challenges and the great opportunities ahead. But we must refocus on education. We must reinvest in those things that are going to return the dividends to move this state forward. And we must keep that passion in our hearts to help our young people so that in a few years, maybe that young lady will stand here as your commissioner. In a few years, not next time, a few years. But most of all, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here and to be a part of this. God bless you. Thank you. What we're doing here today, first of all, we're having a great time. Everybody's here, and we're raising some money for scholarships. And that's very, very important. You know, last night, you know, we were at a gala that was a foundation gala. So what's going on with Southern and Grambling and here today with the Black Caucus and the Legislative Caucus is, again, working with our young people, raising some charity dollars. And that's very, very important that we all give back. And that's been the message over the last really couple of days here, is that we must give back and we must all do our part, and that the future's in our young people. And so it's really great to be here. We're seeing so many of our friends, you know, and here, of course, at the holidays is the time for giving.
What are your priorities as the transition moves forward?
Well, first of all, we're going to put the best government together that we can, and I think the best the state's ever had. We've got a lot of challenges, and we have to confront them head on with a state government that looks like the people of Louisiana. So I believe you're going to see the most diverse state government that's ever been formed in terms of Republicans and Democrats and independents, whites and blacks, males and females, and from all over the state. And we're going to be ready to tackle our challenges. I'm excited about what we've got coming up in the state of Louisiana.
The budget is going to be a big issue, and there will be a special session to address the budget. But our focus is going to be on things like we've always fought for Medicaid expansion, the high crime rates, those type of things that most affect us. And we want to make sure that we're getting some things done, especially with the Medicaid expansion, higher education, public education. We're going to focus on those things to make sure that our people are well represented. This is a lovely day. It's a great day for African Americans here. This is the largest venue football game for African Americans, and this is a great day. We expect the Dome to be sold out today, so a lot of people here in the city of New Orleans, bringing a lot of revenue here to the city of New Orleans. People from all across the country come home for the Bayou Classic, so this is a great day.
Wonderful. We're sold out. We added more tables. Couldn't add any more. Still receiving texts. The sponsors have been just so wonderful in supporting the scholarships.
If people have questions like more information, what should they do?
They can contact our website, the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus website, and all the information is there.